Essentially, my lady bits are broken. They are so not happy, and I have a lot of problems and a lot of pain as a result of their temperamental attitude. So nobody knew about this. That's my pizza! Hey, my name's Miranda Burns, I'm a presenter, and I have an invisible chronic illness, yay! My health in general is just appalling. I had appendicitis when I was little, which was not fun. I used to have epilepsy, fun Miranda trivia, that is a video for another day. I have a bulging disc in my back, which means that at the ripe old age of 25, I have sciatica, and sometimes I'll walk with a limp, so you know, keep your eyes open for that. And right now, and the thing that this video is about, is essentially everything that comes to mind when you hear the word fertility. Basically, my lady bits are broken and they cause me no end of pain and all kinds of problems, and nobody knew about that until very recently. My family knew, my boyfriend knew, and a couple of people from a previous job knew, but I entered the radio world and decided to tell nobody that I was essentially in constant daily pain, ranging from 1 to 10, but pretty much always at 5. Until very recently, when I decided to do an Instagram post on Miranda_Daisy. It's going to be somewhere over here with the magic of technology. I know, welcome to 2019. But essentially this photo that I posted was of me in hospital bed, having had surgery, just looking really ill, like so ill, high on morphine, loving life. And I basically explained to the world what was going on. I didn't expect to get the messages back that I did off the back of that post. Lots of people came to me that also were struggling with varying degrees and different kinds of invisible illnesses and chronic pain. So I figured what I would do is create this video to try and offer you some advice, because I've been struggling for a really long time and I know how you feel. I know what it's like to live with daily pain. I do it every day. I'm not saying I'm particularly good at dealing with it, and I definitely have no medical degree whatsoever, but what I do have is experience. And if you remember the Baz Luhrmann song, Sunscreen, that one, where he says, my own meandering experience. This is Miranda meandering experience about how to deal with chronic pain. So yeah, you're struggling, this is my advice. Like I said, again, disclaimer, all that, I don't have a medical degree. Please don't take me to your doctor and then sue me down the line if it doesn't work. It's just like a little bit of like friendly help. Tip number 1, be really careful who are the people that you have around you, and make sure that you have such a strong support base. These people will be few and far between. There aren't many in this world that I rely on when I'm having a really bad day, but my mum is one of them, and she is an angel, and she is so wonderful, and she listens and she understands, and she can cheer me up when no one else can cheer me up. She picks me up off the floor, so that is one of my people. My other person is my boyfriend, who is just incredibly understanding, and God bless his soul, has put up with a lot of stuff and seen so many things so early on that he shouldn't have seen, but he stood by me, and he's a rock and he's an angel. So I found these people. Previous people, it's difficult to live with someone that has chronic pain, so previous people haven't necessarily been as understanding or like potentially kind-hearted as I just needed them to be. So find those people, and like I said, there's not going to be loads. You might find one, just one person, but when you find that person, you hold on to them so tightly, and when you're having a day where you feel a little bit better, you say thank you, because you know they're keeping you going. Point number 2, there is absolutely no shame in bringing that person to your doctor's appointments with you. I've had some really bad experiences in the past. I'm sure that you have as well. Had I not had somebody with me in that moment, mentally I think it would have been too much to cope with, and I would have come out of it a little bit more damaged than I am now. You and I will both know how difficult it can be as well when you go into these appointments and you feel emotionally overwhelmed, because obviously this is your body and it's a personal experience, and you're probably feeling a little bit fed up about it all. So it's very easy to go into the appointments and have a defense on. I do pretty much every single time. I'm like, come at me, you know, fight me. You tell me there's nothing wrong, I'll show you. That's not productive, and sometimes it's like having blinkers and you can't hear what's being said. So having another person in the room with you when you go into defense mode, like I always do, is really important. Often I cry as well. When I come out afterwards, the person that's with me can explain what actually went on in the appointment when I've forgotten most of it because I was an emotional wreck. Final thing as well about that is waiting rooms are terrifying and they're horrible, and I don't know about you, but I get sweaty palms, my heart rate increases, I feel sick, I hate them, I feel anxious the day before as well. Having somebody with you to distract you in the waiting room, if there's someone that's able to cheer you up, is invaluable. If a hospital or a doctor's surgery says, nah, you can't bring them in, kick up a fuss because you can. I'm yet to go into a hospital. Other than having x-rays, obviously you can't do that because that's dangerous, but other than having x-ray and surgery as well. But generally, they will let someone come in with you and hold your hand, and that is important. Point number 3. Please warn practitioners, nurses and GPs beforehand if you are a nervous patient. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a really bad experience, which means that I'm not particularly comfortable with people touching my stomach, and I need to let people know about that, because if some poor unsuspecting nurse comes in and tries to do something and my natural reaction is to like thwack her, that's not going to help anybody. That's not her fault, it's not my fault, it's just past experiences. So if you are nervous, if you know you're going to be agitated, if you're scared of needles, just let them know. It's their job. It's their job to calm you down. It will mean as well that they'll explain as they go, and then we'll go a little bit slower, and that can really help. Essentially what I'm saying is help them to help you, which, you know, should be some like funky phrase that goes on a cushion somewhere or up on some mum's kitchen on a sign. Help them to help you. Okay, so point number 4, I promise I can count, is treat yourself, okay? This is important. Like I said, doctor's appointments, they're not very fun. So if you can do something afterwards, even if it's literally just like a bar of chocolate or going to McDonald's afterwards, and before you say that going to McDonald's is counterproductive for your health, it's about mental health as well. It's about coping with pain, okay? If your physical health isn't gonna get better because you're stuck with this illness, then at least make yourself happy and buy yourself the McFlurry. So yeah, treat yourself after appointments. Following on very nicely to that is point number 5, which is the power of duvet days. I don't get to have these enough because like I just work myself a little bit too hard, but sometimes staying in bed and literally just watching telly and like cocooning yourself in a duvet can do so much good when you're feeling really, really, really bad, because it's just like a cozy nest of wonderfulness. Get a nice duvet if you can afford it. Mine's really old and stained, but it does the job. Or, you know, you can buy a throw, a dressing gown, branch out. You just need to make a nest of coziness.
6.
6. I'm having to concentrate so hard. Thank you to my lovely boyfriend for pointing that out. 6 is learn to say no. Again, another one that I'm really working on. But have you heard this thing of like JOMO? It's like FOMO, but the opposite, the joy of missing out. If you're feeling unwell, just say no, okay? There's no shame in that. Everyone's like, oh my God, you have to go out, have a great time, get drunk. Well, no, stay in. Make a hot chocolate, be cozy, be cute. Say no, it's absolutely fine. You're feeling bad, you're having a flare up, stay home, that's okay. And my final point, which is point number 7, 5, 6, 7, is nobody knows your body better than you do. If you think something's wrong, it's wrong and it needs to get looked at. I have had so many doctors misdiagnose me, tell me that they can't see anything. I've gone to a different doctor and they've been like, oh my God, you're dying. I wasn't dying, but like, you're really ill. And I'm like, thank you, yes, I thought so. Don't take one doctor's word for the answer, the be all and end all, because they're human, like you're human, they're not God. They can make mistakes, it's not their fault. They're overworked, it's not their fault, but you know your body, they can't feel it. If something feels wrong, you persist. And also as well, on a side note, on my post, some people wrote some really lovely things. And one of the things which I liked the most was gentle hugs. Because yeah, like sometimes you feel a little bit fragile and you don't want a big squeeze, you want a gentle hug. So I'm gonna finish this video with saying gentle hugs.